All right. I don't have time to edit a long video today, so I'm going to try and make this very brief. In my last Bitcoin video, we were right about here. We were at a decision point, and the reason I call it a decision point is because it was a range high. It's a decision point because we can either continue moving past range high, sustain above it, for a significant period of time and close high time frame candles above the range, or we can take out the range high like we did, but then immediately fall back into it and just continue trading within this rectangle of price action. So we have clearly chosen to continue higher. So to recap, we have broken this large sideways range that we've been trading in since this range low SFP back here, which I think is, probably the most significant development that happened within this range since all-time high. This was a, basically liquidity sweep, a SFP of the range low. We pulled back into it aggressively, and now we've broken the sideways range that we formed following that. So that is a pretty bullish development. Currently, we are sitting around the value area high, at least the last time I checked, but I am going to pull this up again to make sure. And this is the reason why, because the value area high has moved, and I want to see, did we actually hit the value area high? So I want to pull this back a little bit, if I can actually click on the fixed range and not just the lines I've drawn up. I want to pull it back candle by candle. Okay, so we actually did hit it, because on that last daily candle, the yesterday's daily candle, I guess, the value area high was lower. So we did hit it, but it has since shifted to the upside. So currently, this is where the value area high is at. So I am going to look at that as a significant level because it's right above this little local bit of price action. I was going to say, because we, had pretty much gotten above the value area high, that there wasn't much in terms of resistance. I know I've had this red box drawn up on my screen for what seems like forever, probably, at least multiple months at this point, but I cannot remember for the life of me what it was. I know it was some kind of order block, but I was looking through the timeframes and I can't find out which one it was. And the main reason I had that left on my chart was because this value area high was inside of there at one point. But since we no longer have the confluence, I'm really not looking at this little area as that significant, considering that we have, just above that, I think something that outweighs that, which is liquidity. We have lower highs leading up to the all-time high, which there's probably a bunch of dollar signs above there as well. And I think that's going to overrule this, little bit of resistance. I really am not looking at it as that significant because I think there's a more significant reason to continue past it and get a move to all-time high, which currently is my target. I am targeting all-time high in terms of the higher time frame stuff, and it could take a while to get there, but since we've broken this sideways range, and given how market cipher looks currently, the weekly time frame looking bullish, money flow momentum pointing to the upside, the daily time frame money flow putting in higher highs, I believe we do have a slight bull div, or bear div, excuse me, on that high, but only with momentum. Money flow looks strong, and you know what I say, a div with momentum but not money flow usually means retrace, not reversal. So yeah, even if we retrace from here with these lower time frame bearish signs, again, momentum divs on the 4-hour, but money flow putting in higher highs. 3-hour, it looks pretty similar. It may be a double top. No, technically is a higher high as well. And on some of the lower time frames, we do have the money flow divergences. However, since the 3-hour and the 4-hour are not diverging, only the 2-hour and down, I'm still not looking at it as super significant. I'm really prioritizing the daily and the weekly here, and they both look bullish. And because of that, I am expecting that we'll probably continue to the upside to hit this all-time high finally. I do not think that it's likely that we pull another one of these wicks and front run it somehow and get a full-on rotation of the range again. So locally, we do have some bearish signs. There were divergences. We have broken some kind of uptrend here by taking out this higher low. So I am possibly looking at a retrace following this range break. I would like to see price, fall back within this range, find support somewhere significant with some bullish signs, and that could present a long opportunity. I think I still like this blue box that I drew up in my last video. We never hit it, and I think I'm definitely going to modify it a bit. I'm probably going to make it a larger box, given that, I'm not really looking at the local idea of SFPing this low into it anymore. I'd more so look for a retrace and some higher time frame bearish or bullish signs in this area, possibly around point of control. So let's look for confluence. First, I'm going to delete all these lines around this mini range that is relevant right now. I can delete everything in there, and let's pull a fib from this low to the high. All right, the 0.5 and the golden pocket are kind of in that zone that I'm looking for support. Let's pull a fixed range of this little range before we broke out of it. And I mean, value are at high confluence there. I want to check a slightly higher time frame pull. Let's check the larger range. And I can delete the all-time high range. That does not need to be up right now. I think I'm going to pull a fixed range from this high over to where we broke the range high, which is roughly about here. Pretty much same story. Point of control is actually at the macro point of control. So, I'm not going to do too much refining here. What I want to focus on currently is this support resistance flip down to this golden pocket, because the point of control, the 0.5 are all in that area. I like this general zone for a retrace. And there is also an NDPOC up here. That's something I'm watching. I mean, that could potentially be the reversal point, but I would more so be treating this as a temporary bounce zone if there's bullish signs there. And so I'd be de-risking locally just in case we end up just continuing lower after bouncing from there. And I am also potentially looking at some shorts if we get a retrace back up into this range and see some bearish signs, some kind of bearish confirmation, any kind of setup. There may be a short down to some of these support levels, but I am, definitely prioritizing longs at this point. I do think shorts are riskier, even though we did see some bearish signs up here. But I mean, if it's a good enough setup, I will take it. And that's pretty much my plans for trading right now. If we, just kind of disregard this little bearish break here and we just continue ranging here, we continue trading sideways, I'll look for, longs within this range, maybe low sweeps. And I mean, that pretty much does it. There's not too much else to go into right now without me spending 20 minutes talking. So yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, consider leaving a like, subscribing, leaving a comment. I appreciate the support, and I'll see you all in the next one.